This week on For Crying Out Loud.
Let's get down to the bottom of Allison. Because Allison, we hear Adam talk and talk.
Don't worry,
and
Adam's
talk.
not going to listen to this.
Don't worry. And I just talked about our fight in the first show. So,
I want to have heard that.
Yeah, don't worry. So don't worry. But I want to get down to the bottom, because we hear Allison on the show, but she's funny and she's adding to the show and the humor and stuff. She's bringing the news and stuff, but we never get to. Well, first of all, Adam never really interviews his guests to begin with, let alone does he ever talk to Allison or Brian. But let's get down to the bottom, Allison.
Yeah.
Check out an all-new episode of For Crying Out Loud this Friday, or go to cryingoutloudshow.com, only from Corolla Digital. This is Corolla Digital.
Hello, my little apple fritters. It's me, Allison. Today's show is brought to you in part by Audible. Please visit audiblepodcast.com/BFF for your free audiobook download. Audible is awesome. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not. I suspect you are. They have a bazillion, and by bazillion I mean over 100,000 audiobooks that you can download. And I don't know if you guys are into the thing of listening to books on your iPod or on your computer or whatever, but it's such a great way to read because you can be immersed in a book. It's right there in your ear, but you can be walking or you can be on the treadmill, you can be driving, you can be pretending to listen to your friend if you have an earbud that people can't really see. So therefore, get with the program. This is how people read nowadays. And the next book that I'm going to listen to is A Game of Thrones, A Song of Fire and Ice, Book 1, because I watch Game of Thrones, but I'm that person who's always like, wait, who's that person, and why did they do that? And, it's an intelligent, subtle show, and I'm it's the opposite of subtle. Dense. It's not really. But when it comes to that show, sometimes I'm dense, and I feel like the people I know who have read the books or heard them, and it's supposed to be a super good narrator, too, this Game of Thrones, they know what's going on more than I do. Hence, I need to listen to it. Listen whenever and wherever you want, just like this podcast, this very one that you're listening to right now. Audible has over 1,000 science and technology and over 1,100 science fiction and fantasy titles, with more being added all the time. And they have every genre. It's not just the few we've mentioned. It's every genre, including sexuality and romance. So if you like being titillated, hello! Get a free audiobook download when you sign up for a free trial today. Go to www.audiblepodcast.com/BFF to get your free audiobook today. Also, this episode is brought to you in part by the new Squarespace. Squarespace introduces a new content management system, making it faster and easier to create a high-quality website or blog, plus mobile responsive designs with automatic device scaling and more than 50 other new features. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase on new accounts, go to squarespace.com/bestfriend and use offer code BESTFRIEND7. I do want to talk a tiny bit more about Squarespace, but first, I believe we have some iTunes comments of the week.
Allison wants your iTunes comments. Allison wants them, yes she does. Please leave her some iTunes comments and don't forget to click 5 stars.
All right, we do have a few iTunes comments of the week this week. The first one is titled Architects Are Evil, and it is from Terry Michelle.
And for anyone who doesn't know, it is my belief that architects skew towards the megalomaniacal, and whenever I bring that up on the Adam Carolla Show, everyone looks at me like I'm insane, but I'm not. Hit it, Gare.
All right, it is rare to find someone self-confident enough to be truly vulnerable, and while I would still find you funny and charming, even if you were ugly and covered in boils, you are not. Not at all.
True. Thanks, Terry. I forgot what his name was for a second. It's Terry. What's the next?
Terry Mitchell, but I believe it's based on the spelling, I would call it her name.
Okay. Thanks, Terry.
The next one is by Dirtbike Mike 26. Love, Love, Love It is the title.
I love that.
Keep it up. If you couldn't tell, I love what you're doing.
I can.
Thanks for sharing it with us.
You're welcome.
And would you like one more?
I would like one more, yeah.
Okay, we can have
one more. I can't get enough.
This one is by T-Bone, and I think there's more to his name, but he'll recognize from his comment, which is titled, "Coffee makes my pee smell like," and then there's an emoticon of a coffee cup and a toilet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a debate on, I think it was the Bobcat Goldthwait episodes, right? We did it Just Me or Everyone, and we were talking about coffee pee smell, and none of us knew that coffee affects the smell of your pee. But there's a very, very, very tiny vocal minority who claim it does.
Yeah, I had never experienced that, but this was from the Bobcat Goldthwait episode, because T-Bone says, "Great podcast with Robert." Allison says Robert in all caps. "I really enjoy your show, all the segments, and Gary Bear." Hi, Gary. Hey, T-Bone. Looking forward to the next pod. Looking forward to the next pod. Love you too, me enchilada. And then there's a blue heart.
Oh, that's nice. And of course, that is a reference to the fact that I tend to address people, not like people in my life, just people in my podcast listening audience, as carbohydrates. But I might branch out into other things from the food pyramid. I mean, who knows? It could really go any way. But so anyway, make sure to come to my live show, won't you? I'm going to talk about Squarespace after that. Because first I need to tell them, August 9th, I will be at Nerd Melt Theater doing Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend live with none other than Pete Holmes and musical guest Michael Rosas. So come to that. Okay, Squarespace. Squarespace is a awesome content management system. It is a way to build a website or a way to make your existing website much better. And it has drag and drop functionality, which if you've ever tried to code a web page, which I have a little bit and Gary has a lot, then you know that it can be very difficult if you're not super versed in that stuff. But being able to design a robust website that it has a great look with drag and drop, you can just, instantly where everything's going to go.
It's absolutely amazing. They have beautiful templates that are already in and of themselves great to look at, but then you can basically start editing them by just dragging a folder full of pictures and dropping it on the screen where in your website you would like it to be, and it naturally imports them without any muss or fuss, and it works.
You can import
really,
your Instagram or
absolutely,
all your social media stuff.
Yeah, and then it also does this live scaling where if somebody's looking at your website from a device that maybe isn't a computer, Squarespace will automatically render your site so that it looks the best for that device. So your site's going to look a little different on a computer versus an iPad or another tablet versus a phone, but Squarespace will optimize it so that it looks the best on whatever device the person who is using your site is viewing it through.
In this day and age is actually a big deal because you have to assume that more than a handful, a lot of people who are looking at your site might never actually do it on a computer. They might always be looking at your site on their iPhone. So the new Squarespace will hook you up with, a mobile scaling so that everyone is seeing something that looks great. Sign up for a free account, no credit card needed. For a free trial, go to squarespace.com/bestfriend. Then sign up for a free account. Otherwise, it would not work out just as well. No credit card needed. Just try it out and start building your website. And then if you decide to purchase it, use offer code BESTFRIEND7 and get 10% off your first purchase on new accounts, which includes monthly and annual plans. And don't forget about free domain registration with annual plan subscriptions. That's pretty awesome. You get a free domain with annual plan subscriptions. That makes it so much easier.
Yeah, it really is a lot easier than dealing with a third, another company, another party to try to secure your web address and then port that over to whoever is going to manage your content. Squarespace just makes it really easy. You tell them what you want, and they go out and they get it for you and take care of all the behind-the-scenes work.
Right. That's squarespace.com/bestfriend and use the offer code BESTFRIEND7. Forget those 6 other best friends. It's number 7, best friend 7 here, saying use that. And current Squarespace customers can convert their accounts and content to the new Squarespace whenever they choose, or they can keep their site in the current Squarespace code. So go out, sign up. Of course, all these people track this stuff, and then they're able to see who comes to them through me. So help out the show, won't you? Okay. All right. Woo! I think it is time to get into some serious podcast episode. The guest for this episode is someone that I'm a huge fan of, none other than comedian and writer Chelsea Peretti.
Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison, with her good times never
everyone. Hi, hello. It's me, Alison Rosen, and welcome to another episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. My guest today is none other than Chelsea Peretti. Hello.
Hello.
I'm very excited to have you on my show.
Me
because
too.
I'm a big fan, and I've been following your career for like 10 years, I think. And I've even made a list of all the things that we have in common.
Oh, cool.
It's like I'm campaigning to be your new best friend, really.
Oh, okay.
I don't
like
do this
that.
on every episode.
I need friends. I hang out with too many guys. I would love to have a new girl in the mix. Unless you live in this location, at which point it'll never work.
I live in this chair.
Oh, okay.
But sometimes I
It's
get
gonna
on
be
the
hard.
ground when I want to sleep, you know? I'm
Yeah,
not like a
yeah.
horse. Do they sleep standing up? Or a
I
cow?
believe so. I don't know. I want to believe that. Can't imagine one like snuggled into the into the dirt.
I can't imagine them spooning.
2 horses or a horse and a cow.
2 horses, a horse and a cow. I feel like they don't, they're segregated.
Yeah, they don't speak.
Because I think farms actually, I thought we could do like 20 minutes on agriculture.
I was hoping to.
Farms either have horses or cows.
Really?
That's my understanding, because there's something bad happens if they mix.
Really?
If there's agrarian
Is it like
miscegenation.
some kind of disease that happens?
I believe. That's my understanding. But here's all the things we have in common besides a love of farm animals. We were both born in Oakland.
Oh.
Were we not? This is based on stuff I've learned about you on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know technically where I was born. I used to write for Parks and Recreation, and that whole staff was giving me so much. Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck
Okay. Yeah, they were giving me so much shit there because I was like, I don't know exactly what hospital I was born in, but I think that's like, does that seem
yeah.
crazy?
That was my follow-up question.
But I was raised there.
Okay.
Regardless to say.
Well, wait. How do you not know, though? You just
I
have
don't know
never
why.
asked?
I think it's weird that people do know where they were born.
I don't know where I was born. I don't
Yeah.
even know exactly what city I was born in. Southern California is like the best answer I can really give.
Oh, you participate in this thing?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Why are you so far away and caged
I know, it's
behind
weird.
glass?
It's weird.
It does take people by
It's a
surprise
weird,
when he jumps in.
weird location for you.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
he has to be back there with all the important controls.
Did you physically attack her before or something? They had to build this.
We don't talk about it.
Okay,
We have
fair
a
enough.
very, very, very small restraining order. It's not to come within 8 feet of me
Okay.
Yeah.
without a
We-
partition.
Noted.
My lawyer told me not to talk about it. So
I'm sorry. So how do you guys not know these things about where you were born? Have you
how do
just
you
not
answer
asked?
a question that's how do you not know?
Have you ever
I don't
have
know.
you ever asked?
I just wouldn't. It's
I don't
like my
care.
family. It's not like they were like, this is where you were born and when all the magic started. I mean, they don't like, they're not.
I think it's weird when people know how they were conceived. That's too much
Yes,
information.
Yes, that seems strange as well.
Yeah. But
And
I mean,
also,
I-
if you can pinpoint it, you're not having a healthy amount of sex.
Right.
You're like, we know the night because it was the only night in months.
Exactly. We've both written for the Village Voice.
Okay.
Yes.
I
You
interned there.
in the music section, right?
Yeah.
I wrote listings and I wrote some music stuff as well.
Yeah,
it was around
same.
the same
With
time.
Chuck Eddy?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. This will be interesting to the like 16 people that know Chuck Eddy. But what was your experience of that? I always thought he was kind of a weird guy.
He was, but everyone there was weird at the
Yes.
time. I think everything's changed since then with, print media going out of fashion. But yeah, he was pretty cool. I mean, it sounds like he gave a lot of people opportunities. I basically set up shop in the Village Voice to the point where there was just a spare desk and I set up all my stuff in it, and then the editor-in-chief at the time was just like,
Don
"What-"
Forst.
Yeah, Don Forst one day
He's
was
like
like, "What are you
700
doing?
years
You
old."
don't fucking work here." And I was like, "Oh my God." And it was a real wake-up call. I'd like bought a fax machine. I was like really setting up shop.
Did you want to be a journalist? Was that what you were thinking you were going to do at that
they
point?
gave me a column, and then it wasn't Don. I forget the other guy's name, Doug Simmons, I think. They gave me a column, and then I wrote it, and they didn't like it, and they took it away. And he was looking at me, and he was just like, "It just doesn't pop." And I was just like, "Tears for life, tears for life."
What was it going to be about? This unpopping.
You know
column?
what? It was going to be about TV. And at the time, when you're just starting out and you think any opportunity is going to change your life forever. So it's like, they were like, we're going to give you a column. You're going to write about TV. And I'm like already seeing myself. I'm a columnist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking around New York and I have a column, and it's like some sense of purpose.
And this was before Sex and the City, right?
I don't know. I have no sense of chronology
Okay.
in my life or in general culture. But yeah, so anyway, it didn't happen. But I think it's for the best, because if I was a TV critic, it would have been hard to be a creative person.
Yes. And plus, all those people are pretty much out of jobs anyway, unless they moved over onto the internet. And we both lived in New York, and we now both live in L.A. Well, I live in this chair, which is in L.A.
You live in this chair.
Yeah.
I live not in this chair.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not till we build our matching best friend chair.
Yeah, I know.
Abodes.
I'm wondering what's at the end of this list. Does it go like crazier, or this is all?
It kind of just lateral moves.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do want to know how you feel about having moved to LA, though.
Well, I love it. You know, I've never looked back. I don't miss New York, really. I know, like, my New York friends are like, so how is it when I moved here? And I was like, I love it. I'm from Oakland, and I think I'm used to certain aspects of a California life that I just like better. But New York was fun. I was just there for so many years that I felt like I experienced it.
Mm-hmm. Are there things you miss about it, though? Like, for me, the adjustment, like, my life is definitely better out here, but when I go back and I walk around, I think, oh, man, I think I just never quite felt like I never gave up on that New York dream, whatever that dream is that makes everyone go there, and then you realize this is not really going to happen. But I still have this idea that there's some fantastic New York life that I'm not living.
I don't feel that way at all, because my quality of life is so much better here. My living situation, like, just everything is better here. And then I've had so much more work since I've moved here that, like, there's nothing to be like, oh man, you know, like, I feel like there's nothing I'm missing. It almost makes me feel like a sociopath, because I left after being there for so many years and I didn't miss it once.
I think that just means it was the right move.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. I just affirmed your life change.
I'll always take that.
Both like poodles, I think.
Yeah. How do you even know
Because
that?
I've been following, in a non-creepy way, I've been following, like I said, I've been a fan for like 10 years.
Creepy.
I know, it's going to... Okay, I'm okay with that.
I
used to
like
read your
'em.
blog a long time ago.
Really?
And I recall you saying something about, like, poodles are awesome, deal with it, or something in that sense.
Poodles are awesome. Deal with it.
But, you know,
No,
better
I
than
think
that.
I think that my point with poodles has always been, just don't cut them with these stupid haircuts.
Yes.
If you just cut their hair like the same length all over, they look cool. They look like little cute, cool dogs. But anyway, I don't want to get too impassioned about this.
No, it's true. Yeah, there is no love in my heart for a poodle that has pom-poms all
Also,
over it.
don't get a white one. Get like a jet black poodle and cut its fur even, and they're the cutest dogs on earth.
When I was growing up, we had a miniature black poodle that had a normal, like a puppy cut.
Me too.
Named Woofy.
Named Rufus.
Oh, see? Gotta put that on the list. I think maybe we both dislike soup for some reason. I have it in my, okay. You tweeted something. I didn't know if you were serious or not.
No, I don't like soup.
I think it's overrated.
Yeah,
it's just
boring.
liquidy.
Blech, blech, blech,
Yeah,
blech. It's
and-
just the same texture over and over. Oh, great. I have 50 more spoonfuls of this to get through.
And here's the thing, though. People claim that it's so good. That's my problem with it, because there's people who are like, they will tweet, there's nothing better than soup or something like that.
Yeah, but
you know?
there's
It's like,
also
a million better
people
things.
who love fall, you know, who are like, oh, the crisp air of fall. Like, there's a lot of people who have terrible opinions.
I actually like fall.
Oh. Well,
Damn
crumple
it.
up that list.
I know.
We're
There goes our
donezo.
best friend necklace. Says, you don't like fall?
I hate cold.
Well,
I
that's
would
another
rather
reason
be
you
hot
probably
than
like
cold.
LA, right?
Yeah, I love the weather. It's like every single day. Oh, great. It's perfect out.
Do you
Perfect.
enjoy August? The worst month
I'll
of all?
take it over winter in New York any day. I mean, I disappeared for 6 months of the year in the East Coast because I can't take being cold.
Where in New York did you live?
I lived all over. I lived in the East Village a lot. I lived in Nolita at the end. I went out to Fort Greene and Park Slope for a couple years in the middle there. So that's basically it.
We both like Game of Thrones.
Yes, love it. I'm very behind right now, though. It's terrible.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
so don't
I
tell
won't
me
say
anything.
This one is kind of true for everyone, and it's a little bit of a repeat, but we both like puppies. No, next to me, we both have hair.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Also, do you do this with all your guests?
No, I never have. I just started making notes when I was, researching.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my God, look at all these commonalities that I'm
it
forcing
is
into
crazy.
a list.
It is a lot.
Mirror images, I know.
But were you raised in Oakland or just born there?
No, I was just born there, and then I lived there for like a year, and then I moved down to Orange County. I make it sound like I packed up my tiny van and decided that,
You know what? I'm going to hit the road for a bit.
I don't like these other 16-month-olds.
Yeah.
They're not my speed. So, yeah, then I came down to Orange County, lived there, went to college in Claremont, went back to Orange County, and then moved to New York and was there for 8 years, and then came back here a couple years ago. And so I'm realizing that this is what I should have said before. All the things that people, I mean, I feel like people who are listening to this probably already know who you are because
You never know.
everyone should know who you are. But
Yeah.
lest they don't, you and your brother were responsible going way back for Black People Love Us, the viral hit website.
Yes.
And the rejection hotline, right?
Yeah.
Which Gary didn't know what that was. Can you educate him?
Gary, that was just a phone number we created. We got a phone line that you could hand out at clubs or wherever people are hitting on you that you don't want to give your actual number. And then you could just give this random number, and it had like this phone tree of rejection messages on it. It was like, rejection specialists are standing by kind of thing.
Yeah, actually, I did know what it was, but there was a miscommunication. I was searching to figure out exactly which one yours is because there's a million, copycats now.
Now there are.
I know.
And I couldn't find it by using your name and rejection in Google, and so we misunderstood. But yeah, that went around like wildfire, right at the end of high school, beginning of college for me. But those things are so funny.
Yeah, we did those two projects, and every interview would ask us, like, so are you making money off this? Are you making money off this? And we were always like, no. And then it's like, yeah, all these people tried to, like, monetize the rejection line or whatever, which I don't know. But I don't know if anyone had any success with that, but they were trying.
I doubt it. I feel like the attempts to monetize internet things.
Yeah, it's like
most
the
of
whole
them don't
point is
pan
like,
out.
what? This is just a free service you can give out, and then it's like, what are you going to do? Like, yeah, for $5 you can have I don't know, just it makes no sense to me. But
Right. But it did open a bunch of doors. Those
yeah,
projects?
I mean, those things, I think I was, just out of college for those things, and we went on Good Morning America with Diane Sawyer, and we were in the New York Times, and we got to, like, first of all, learn a lot about how all these different things work. And, we sold some shows. We sold 4 shows to different cable networks that never got made, but, like, a lot of stuff came from it. And
Was that disappointing that they didn't get made?
I don't know. I feel like it's funny. I was just talking to my friend about this morning. It's like, at this point, there's so many things that don't happen that it's like I don't even register. Like, I'm not expecting anything to change my life anymore like I once did. Like, I think it's like a cumulative thing. Whereas when I was first starting out, I think everything I would try to hold back, but I'd have a fantasy of like my life will be forever changed,
Right. Like, I'm a columnist now. Like that thing.
Yeah.
I know.
So, I can't even remember if I was disappointed or not, but I think, as these things go, it's like it was a slow process of like, okay, this one's not going to happen, but I think it was more of a triumph that we had no experience whatsoever, and because we had ideas people liked, we were able to sell these 4 shows with no experience. So I think, I think we saw it as a positive because we're super pause.
Oh, yeah.
The
I get that.
Perettis were very, very pause as people.
You probably come from a long line of pause people.
Just
Pause
nonstop positive thinking. I was just raised to really believe in myself.
When you run into someone who's negs on life, how do you feel?
Should I answer sarcastically or truthfully? I'm getting lost in my own sarcasm.
Either.
I identify. I don't identify, as much as I work
Wait,
on
I wasn't prepared for an earnest answer.
Oh.
Now I am. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
I try to legit keep it pause. But, at the same time, I tend to identify with broken people. Like, if someone just seems squeaky clean and happy, I'm just like, why? Like, something's got to be missing. Like, what's the missing piece? Like, I'm always just hunting.
I'm always convinced that there's a lot of darkness deep down.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the kind of person who has, a collection of eyeballs or I don't know what, or is going to harm someone.
Like, I feel like there's basically 2 kinds of people. This is my theory lately.
Oh, good.
Of like
I like
people
new
whose
theories.
parents loved them and told them that they were great, and people whose parents didn't. Whether they may have felt that, but they didn't express it in a clear and sustained way. And I feel like those 2 groups of people are going to be drawn to different things in entertainment and in the world in general,
Do you think the people who were confident in their parents' love are drawn towards being performers? Because every day I have a new theory on people who want to be in the public eye, people who perform, like what the hell that is.
I think they're all broken, and I think they're all narcissists. And like, I don't know. I can't think of someone in entertainment who, like, if you don't talk to them for a couple hours, you're not going to find out some deep, dark place that, you know, they're trying to fix through performing. Why would anyone subject themselves to the level of criticism and also the weirdness of people who even like you is also uncomfortable and strange.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think the normal response is to think, I'm comfortable in this group of friends, but the idea of getting on stage is terrifying, as opposed to I'm often more comfortable performing than relating.
Yeah.
That's so depressing sounding, but you know, but in like a pause way.
Yeah.
I mean, so I remember in high school overhearing a cheerleader say to her friend, we were all reading Catcher in the Rye, and in school, and she said that she liked Catcher in the Rye, but the thing is that Holden is just too negs on life. And that always stayed with me.
I can't really remember Catcher in the Rye. I know it's seminal.
Yes, it's in a canon.
Yes,
or
it's in
more than one.
Yes, several canons.
Yeah, Holden is a high schooler, and he's very upset with what he calls the phoniness of the adult world. And he wants to protect the innocence of kids. And he's, you know, very introspective and insightful. But to this girl, he was negs. I mean, maybe if I went back, I would read it and think,
I should reread it. It's like, I feel
Screamingly
like
negs.
my brain doesn't retain anything. I know I actually read it within the last decade because I was like, I don't know about this book, or everyone always talks about it, and I already forget everything about it.
I don't really read books anymore.
Yeah, it's challenging.
I don't have the attention span. Speaking of Twitter, though,
Yes.
You're one of my favorite people. And by the way, all the interviews are not this effusive. I'm really blowing more smoke up your ass than like anyone, because it's real.
Thanks.
It's real smoke, ass smoke. You're one of my favorite people on Twitter.
Thank you.
You and Dave Hill.
Oh, I should follow him.
He's funny, yeah. And Instagram. And I'm wondering, when I look at your tweets and the stuff on Instagram as you travel around, it seems like, you're having such a good time, and they seem super pause.
Right.
But
do they?
Yeah,
I mean,
they
I
do.
did put like pictures of like a filthy carpet in a hotel and like I
like the green room.
Exposed. Oh yeah, like the sad green room things
just
with
like
no
the
food.
shitty folding chair and a window out to nothing.
Yeah. I think those things are interesting because I think people have varied perceptions of like, if you're in entertainment at all, they think that you just have like a glamorous like existence, and I'm always like shocked by, even at a very high level, which I'm not. I'm shocked when I see friends who have way more going on at certain things they have to deal with, where I'm like, what? Even when you're super rich and famous, you have to deal with this, that, or the other. So I don't know, but I mean, yeah, I think that all those things like Instagram and Twitter, I try not to get too into like vulnerable, sad musings, because I just don't feel that benefits my career in any way. And I have a therapist and I have friendships that I can share those thoughts with. So I'm not a real fan of people who use, especially comedians, I mean, I'm talking about, who use Twitter to like get super emo with people. But sometimes I'll do it, but I try to avoid that.
Do you enjoy being on the road?
I actually do. I mean, it depends. Like, I've been traveling a lot lately, and I wind up being home for a few nights a week, and it makes me a little crazed. Like, I am a homebody, but I also love, like, seeing new places, especially, like, a lot of people, you know, don't ever see parts of the United States. Like, I do think it's interesting that all these things are parts of the United States. When I've lived in the coasts and seen these very specific worlds, to see more of the states is cool. And eat food all over the place. I'm always like compulsively Yelping and cross-checking on Chef's Feed and whatever apps I can get a hold of.
Do you actually post reviews on Yelp?
No, that's what I was thinking. I never would ever write a Yelp review, yet I rely on people who would do something I would never do for my food information. But anyway, and I do think Yelp is pretty funny, as I've been Instagramming some screenshots to mixed reactions. But
well, someone wrote, and I don't know if they were being serious or not, I followed you for pictures. I don't want to
Oh
have to
yeah,
read.
don't put text. But people have little fucking snipey little feedback on everything. I'm like, you know what? I don't know who you are, and I'm not asking for your
feedback. So
feedback.
that was like an actual annoying comment, not someone being.
But
trying
then
to be
it's
funny.
like sometimes I go after people, and then they're like, "I'm sorry," and then I'm like, ugh, I guess I just have to have like a thick skin and a good sense of humor, because people say shitty things, but they're saying it like they want to play with me, but I don't know them. And they're not comedians, so they don't have a sense of how to be funny and say something shitty. So it just comes off as insulting sometimes. But at the end of the day, so many of the times that happens, they wind up being like, I love you, I just am an asshole or whatever. So,
see, you're the bazillionth person I've heard say something like, when you go after them, then they apologize. However, my haters they do not. I'm trying to think if there's even once someone
I should
down.
counsel you through.
Oh, that would help me.
One
yeah.
of them. I mean, I've been really getting into it with people on Twitter. I don't know. I used to
Can
not
you make
do
all
it.
of it? Like, are you like a troll whisperer? Can you make them all fold?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. I guess maybe I just feel like with certain issues, I feel like I am gonna win. But I don't know. I think I could help you.
Okay. Did the negative comments hurt your feelings?
Sometimes they're funny, it depends. Like sometimes I really will laugh at someone shitting on me and it makes me laugh, but it's just like literally I do think it comes down to if someone's funny and if they have good judgment about how to say something, Sometimes it's really annoying and then I have to go, there's bigger things to worry about in life than, just someone's little snippy remark.
Yeah. So you were a writer on the Sarah Silverman program and on Parks and Rec, and you recently decided to leave Parks and Rec, though.
Right.
Why?
I loved it there, and obviously it's a dream writing job. I just I've always wanted to perform and to write, and I couldn't basically perform with that job. It was just the hours were in the spectrum of TV writing, they're not the worst hours possible, but they're just, for me, like I was having to cancel shows every night and I couldn't go on the road on the weekends and things like that. And it's just, I started feeling like I need to do certain things that I couldn't do. Basically, if I had that job, that's really all I could do in a certain sense. So, that's the main reason.
Mm-hmm. So the plan now is to focus on all the things
on
that you...
stand-up, and I'm also working on a show idea for myself. So those two things were important to me.
A show idea to be performed live or a TV show?
No, a TV show, yeah.
Okay, so I heard you talking about 50 Shades of Grey, which is my favorite book.
I haven't read it, yeah.
No, I've only skipped around as well. It was so funny because, see, I've been making fun of the book. My impression of the book is... he kissed my sex. It was exquisite. I exploded in 1,000 pieces or whatever, because I feel like she keeps climaxing like that.
Yeah.
But your take on it was so much better, which is that everything he's doing is
annoying.
Yes.
It's like a kind of guy where you'd be like, ugh, get off me.
Yeah.
And I talked about, I read passages from it because I just picked it up. I was writing for Portlandia and they had a copy of it in their offices, and I just picked it up to a random page and I just read some of it out loud, and we were just cracking up because it's just like everything in there. I'm like, ew, get off me. Ugh. Like the guy just sounds like he's all over her, and like just this it was very like overly adjectived writing.
Yeah, and yet I think the disconnect for me is that there's a lot of adjectives, but none of it's hot.
Yeah,
and yet people are saying it's.
But it's weird. I feel like it's got to be geared towards older women, right? Like I feel like there's an element of it that's like, if you're in this day and age, you're texting, there's so much stuff you can get into with a young man in this day and age. Like this kind of writing, it's very like, it feels like 80s or something. Like it feels like for people who liked Harlequin romance novels.
Right. My sister and I used to refer to them as books with puff because our mom read them. They're all those romance novels. The title is like raised and in foil.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't believe that this is what it's all about. I mean, I guess I haven't read more of it, but it seems pretty unsexy to me.
I don't think you need to read more. I can tell you.
I'm gonna try to read
around. I was embarrassed that I downloaded it, and then I flipped around and I'm like, I can't find the parts that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Pete Holmes for 1 minute. Because he's going to be on my live show on August 9th at Nerd Melt, and he and I have done each other's podcast.
Yeah.
And he said that his podcast, he doesn't call it an interview podcast, he calls it a conversation. And I said, that is the most pretentious thing I've ever heard. Where do you come down on that?
Interview versus conversation. I don't. It's just so uninteresting. I can't really have like a strong stance on that. I just
That's never stopped
I
me
have
before.
to tune it out, like most things Pete says. I feel like what were we talking about? Me and Brendan Walsh, my friend, he's a comedian and he's my neighbor, and we were talking about. Oh, he forwarded me an email of like a comedy class. You know, we forward each other all our spam emails, me and Brendan, because it's just cathartic, you know, just to have some use of these spams. So he sent me this thing like, let's take this comedy class or whatever. And we were saying it would be funny if we all showed up. The teacher would just be so stressed out if all these comedians walked in who have actual like work that they do. And then we were saying it would be funny if Pete Holmes wound up being the instructor and we walk in and he's in like a beret and a turtleneck and he's like, what is comedy? And we're like, no. So that I hope he does that.
Okay, I think we should do a segment called Topic Sombrero.
It's the topic sombrero. We asked for topics and you sent them in. It's the topic sombrero. Now pick a topic and let's begin. It's the topic sombrero.
All right, these are things that listeners have sent in that they want to hear discussed.
Okay.
Is cheating wrong if your better half never finds out? Yes.
I mean, I'm very anti-cheating due to my whole family lore and being a child of divorce, which involved cheating and things like that. So for me, I think cheating just is a real, like, it depends on who the person is. Some people, it's just not a deal breaker. For me, it is. I've never cheated on someone, but that doesn't mean I'm not capable of it. I know myself well enough at this point that, like, anytime I think I wouldn't do something or another, I might be open to it in 5 years. But you know, I don't think I'm a cheater, and I don't really like cheating, personally.
If you did cheat, would you tell the person?
I probably would. I'm not a good liar. I don't like secrets very much, and I also just don't get it, really. Like, I just feel like just break up. Why have the pretense of monogamy? Like, if you want to cheat, just break up. It's like people want to have it all. Like, or, you know, I know there's a certain guys that I know that have girlfriends all the time but are always cheating, and it's like, I just don't understand. You want there's
something kind of sociopathic about that to me. The fact that you can act one way and then go home and act an entirely other way.
You want the benefits of what it's like to be in a relationship without the actual soul of that, you know? So
exactly.
I don't know. I find it creepy, but I mean, whatever. I have a friend who was cheated on, and it was like the least of her issues with that relationship. There was other emotional stuff going on that she was more concerned about than that. She's like, yeah, he kissed someone at a party, or I, you know, made out with someone here or there. Like, for me, that would be like, I don't know, you know, probably.
Yeah. Well, that actually goes into this email that I received, which is long. And I think I will read the email, and then let's get this guy on the phone, and because we're going to need some clarification. Okay. Here's part of the email. I am a notorious fuck-up when it comes to living life. I am in a relationship...
First of all, that's so self-involved already, that he thinks he's notorious.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
It's a little flowery. I am in a relationship and have been for 3 months now. I really love spending time with the person that I am with, and I think she is a great girl. The problem is that from the beginning, I knew she wasn't the one, but nevertheless, the relationship is continuing to progress. I feel like I am leading her on, and in a way I am, but just because I am not head over heels for this girl, does that mean I should break it off? It is clear to me that she likes me way more than I like her, and that makes me feel, for lack of a better word, icky. We are actually planning on moving in together, which I am fine with.
What?
I know.
That is not the next sentence, dude.
Because I am poor and live in California, and it would be better than having a roommate.
Because I am poor is the best. Oh, my God.
The real problem is this. In my head, I am completely in love with someone else who I doubt I will ever be with. My girlfriend has no idea that this other girl even exists. I talked to the other girl on a
They've been together 3 months, and they're moving in. He's in love with someone else. This sounds good.
I know. It's all the ingredients for a happy relationship in life.
Pregnancy.
I talk to the other girl on a pretty regular basis, and we, the other girl and I, tell each other that we love one another when we talk. The other girl lives out of the state, and we have never officially dated, but we did make out. We did make out once while drunk. The other girl knows I have a girlfriend, and she has a boyfriend of her own. What do you think I should do?
Kill yourself. Is that an option?
I mean, I don't know. We're going to talk to him in a moment, so it might be.
Oh, cool. I don't know. I mean, this is like one of those people when they have just so much bad decision making and drama that like when they ask for advice, you're just stumped because you're just like, be a different person.
Right.
You know, like start over, start from scratch.
All right. Let's get this guy on the phone.
Hello?
Nick?
Yeah,
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, Chelsea and I have a lot of questions for you. Why are you moving in with this girl that you don't like all that much, who likes you more?
Well, it's not that I don't like her. It's, I don't know. It's really hard to explain because, like, I like her as a person. Like, we're in a good relationship. I'm happy. You know, it's a good relationship. But like I said, like at the beginning, I just knew like this isn't going to work out eventually. But it doesn't mean it's not going to work out right now. Does that make sense?
Subtitle: I'm poor.
Subtitle: I'm poor. It's not just about that.
I mean, you did say that in your email.
Yeah, as the reason.
That's part. It's part of the reason. But I mean,
That's always romantic.
I mean, I enjoy spending time with her. We get along great. The relationship itself is great.
She's a great girl.
Yeah,
A thing that no girl ever wants to hear about herself.
Right.
Listen, she's a great girl.
She's a nice
great.
gal. She's a neat gal.
But you know how, like, when you're in, like, certain relationships and, like, one person is getting something out of the relationship and the other person isn't?
But don't you just end it at that point?
Yeah.
But
You need a place to live.
it's not just about having a place to live. I mean, I care about her a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you,
Are you crying?
sounds like you realize the value of her and you wish you could make yourself be into her more. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what's the deal with this other woman that you're in love with who has a boyfriend and that you've made out with once?
The deal with that is that it's never going to happen, and I've come to the realization that we're not going to be together. And so, in my mind, that's kind of like out of the picture. So,
why are you never going to be together?
Because, like, we live too far away from each other. I mean, it's never worked. It just never worked out. I mean, we've known each other for a long time, and I told her, you know, how I feel. She feels like it. Like, I think I like her more than she likes me. But I mean, we have. I don't. It's really complicated.
What did you major in feminism or something? You have the vibe of someone who cries a lot.
Probably. I've got a lot of emotional problems.
Oh, man. I mean, this is just a mess. I mean, we're going to say different things because I'm blunt and rude and you seem very compassionate.
Thank you.
But I think don't move in with this girl. Tell her that you feel exactly what you're saying to us, you should say to her. I feel like you may be more intense around this relationship than I am, and it makes me feel bad because I like you, but I don't know if I feel the same level of intensity about it. And don't move in with her. Get a job so you can make more money. Have some goals so that you can support yourself and not have to move in with people you don't like. And maybe...
The thing is, it's not that I don't like her. Like, I like her a lot. Like, the relationship is good.
No one said you didn't like her, but it's like if you don't feel any spark and you feel like it's imbalanced, why move in together? At least you could still keep seeing her, but maybe you should be more honest with her.
I should be more honest with her, but it's like, I mean... we get along. It's because we get along great, and because everything. Like, it's
can you
stop?
Are you saying are you saying? But I don't want to. Like, I should be more honest with her, but I don't want to.
We're gang raping him with advice.
No, it's more. I want to be more honest with her, but I'm a pussy.
Right.
Man up, bro.
I don't want to.
Well,
I don't want to hurt her.
Well, just don't move in.
I think, yeah, I agree with that. And I think you guys are. I agree with what everyone's saying. Here's the thing: there is this idea that love. This is based on Game of Thrones. There's this idea that love can grow between two people where the spark isn't there. So if you're committed to like making it work with this girl, which it doesn't really sound like you are, I think it is possible that it could. However, it's certainly not going to if you're going to have feelings for someone else, you know? So it's like, do you want to really give it a go? Really, really?
No, I don't.
Then there you go.
Yeah, like, to me, in my mind, it's sort of like a means to an end. Like, I was like, okay, we'll move in together and we'll spend a year together, and at the end of that year, that'll be it. And then
what's
we'll just
the
go our
end
separate
then?
ways.
It's a means to an end. Doesn't that mean that it's like you get something out of it? What do you get?
I mean, I'm just kind of hoping that eventually she'll just get sick of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't do that.
That's very narcissistic. I think like she's a big girl, right? How old is she? I don't want to make assumptions.
She's 20.
She's 20.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh, you're too young to fuck with each other this much. I mean, granted, that is something that people do when they're young, but still.
You don't need to be in an obligatory relationship when you're 22. You could be out like playing the field,
Yeah,
having fun.
it's going to get so messy. We were just talking about guys we know that have girlfriends who cheat all the time and how there's something sociopathic about that. Don't be that guy.
But the thing is, it's not that I don't want to cheat, and that's the thing. Like, okay, I can break up with her and I'll be single, but I don't really want to be single. Like, I don't want to be playing the field and going out and meeting, banging chicks or whatever. Like,
Fine, but find someone you like more. Maybe you don't have to play the field. Look for the right person a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think I'm just kind of afraid to be alone.
You keep saying you don't want to hurt her feelings, man, but you're talking about moving in with her and she really feels for you. So that's just amping up how bad you're going to eventually hurt her feelings. Like,
Yeah.
I understand where
I
you're coming
know.
from, but at a certain point you like have to make the decision that you don't want to be the bigger dickhead 9 months down the road.
Yeah.
Right. It's like
Yep.
I've learned this as I've gotten older. It's like there's short-term hurting someone's feelings and long-term hurting someone's feelings. Like if you short-term hurt her feelings by just going, I'm not feeling this, versus taking a year of her life and then being like, ta-da, I actually didn't like you that much at the end of a year. What is the upside of that?
And that's why I feel like such a dick. Like I feel like I'm leading her on.
Can I suggest something to you? Not wanting to hurt someone's feelings in the short term, I think, because I am like this too, is more about not wanting anyone to be upset with you.
Yeah.
And wanting to maintain the image of being the good guy, but you're so not.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like I was with her today, and there are times like she'll say "I love you," and I don't even hear her say that. And I'll
Cool.
I'll just completely blank it, and then she'll be like, "You didn't even say that back." I'll be like, "What? You didn't even say anything."
See, it's already not working. So I think moving in together is going to make it more uncomfortable, and not in the way that's going to give you the exit you're looking for. So I agree with Gary and Chelsea, which is just cut the cord.
Okay.
Rip the Band-Aid off.
I know you guys are right, and I kind of just need to hear that from other people, and that's kind of why I called. Like, I mean, I know what the right answer is.
You can
All
still,
right.
yeah.
Well, good luck with all of that, and just remember, when you're single, you can still listen to this great podcast. Okay, bye.
I will. Can I say something real quick?
I don't know.
I just want to say that I love you guys. Allison, I love you. I love
thanks.
your show.
Thank
And
you.
Keep on doing what you're doing because you're great.
Oh,
So,
thank you very much. Okay, bye.
bye.
I think we fixed him.
His voice, like, he seems like the kind of boyfriend you would have where you're up till 5 a.m. talking and fighting like every other night, where he's like, no, it's just like, I like you, but I just like, it seems like he likes being in that kind of like pained,
Heightened.
yeah.
Yeah. I used to have relationships that were complicated like that, and then people would say like, nothing is this complicated, it's simple. And that didn't make sense to me when I was young, but now
I also
it does.
just like, I really think that attitude of like, I would hurt someone so much if I removed myself from their life. It's like, it's very like narcissistic, but it's posed as you're trying to be nice. And it's like, well, why do you think you're the center of someone's world? Like if you
Right.
are, they might have emotional issues that aren't about you.
if they actually depend on you that much, then it isn't about you.
Yeah,
by
especially
definition.
after 3 months.
Yeah. See, I remember like this guy that I was hung up on when I was 19. He was 27, and he didn't have a driver's license, so I did all the driving. He was in a band, and he was very afraid of hooking up with a woman who would just want to marry him. Like, I don't think you need to worry about that much.
Yeah, you have nothing that you bring to the table whatsoever.
Right. I mean, you have great hair, but I don't know.
That's big.
I think it might be some Just Me or Everyone time. Get ready for another song.
Okay.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
Okay. These are things that people do or think, and they wonder, is it just them or is it everyone? And, okay, let's see. Zanera Park says, licking Cheeto fingers clean when alone, not knowing what to do with Cheeto fingers when in public, hopefully an available napkin. I'm getting deja vu. So I don't know if maybe we did this with Dorito fingers or something, but I avoid orange foods for that reason. Because Cheetah fingers is a situation that you don't want to have to deal with in public. And then also, even if you lick them clean, it doesn't really get the orange off. Chelsea, I feel like you eat healthier foods than Cheetos.
I mean, I like Cheetos, but I just don't really buy that very much.
Yeah. Okay. When I'm at the airport, Comment Boy 5000 says, when I'm at the airport and I go through TSA, I feel like I'm getting away with smuggling Coke, even though it's only shampoo. I very much feel that way always. Like I feel like I'm pulling something off, even though I'm not.
I'm more interested in the name Comment Boy 5000. I mean, that's like his identity as a commenter.
Well,
Interesting.
He's probably really happy because this one is a repeat.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Jim Norton episode, actually. My bad.
Oh.
This one's my fault, so sorry. But yeah,
And
thanks, Comment Boy.
I didn't get deja vu, though, even though we already did it. That shows that my deja vu sense is off. All right. Okay, Zanera Park again says, when I wake up from dreams, I continue that same dream when I fall back asleep. I sometimes have that, and it's only with nightmares. Anyone? You guys don't have that at all?
No, definitely not.
Oh, no. I was reading a different one. I'm sorry. I'm being
That's
terrible.
okay.
This is
Do you see one that you'd like to do?
I was reading, I smear my butt print off everything I sit on. The sand at the beach, couch cushions, movie theater seats, etc. In my mind, I'm like, ew, your butt leaves a print everywhere? Like, I'm like, what are you eating, Olestra? Like, why is this happening?
Oh, yeah.
And then
that
I realized,
does cause leaky butt situations.
Leaky butt syndrome.
OBS.
But I was just like puzzling over that. I was so consumed by it that I didn't listen to the other one you were reading. But that is, I guess she's just saying like if there's
an indentation. It
Right.
makes me wonder if she's self-conscious about her butt size.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because I don't wipe my butt print off of things.
Maybe she has an outie butthole. And so she doesn't want anyone to know.
From now on, if anyone ever ask me about innie or outie, which that doesn't come up very much anymore.
That would be the only thing that would justify that level of obsession.
Right. I'm trying to imagine what that would even look like.
I'll do some Google searches.
I feel like you'd land on goat's eat way too fast.
Yeah.
Okay. Alex Austin says, leave the bathroom and walk around the house every time I brush my teeth instead of staring in mirror for 2 minutes. Yes, I do that too.
Absolutely. What is that? You feel like you've like done a prison break. You're like walking around your house. See, look how free I am. Like I don't know who we're rebelling against.
Right. Yeah.
But
I'm going to tweet with one hand. That's because I always go to my phone usually.
Yeah. I also even when I lotion after every shower. Do you do that?
No, I don't actually.
I
feel I probably should.
I was co-parented by a black woman, and she like was big into lotioning. So I lotion after every shower, and like, I will also take that out into the living room. Like, my bathroom cannot cage me.
What kind of lotion do you use?
Cocoa butter.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vaseline Intensive Care cocoa butter.
my friend, oh, this is I'm trying to figure out how to get into this story. I'll just tell the whole thing, and I'll just make it fast. So when I used to do this show.
You're not a good hype man for yourself.
No, I'm horrible.
You're like, I'll just get through this shitty anecdote. Here we go. I'm going.
No.
I'm going to start now.
the other night I was pitching something, and I'm making it vague.
Made up movie.
Oh no, that wasn't even the story. That one's too raw still. That was bad. No, I was pitching an idea, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a terrible idea, but a coworker was like, wow, you really know how to sell it.
That's a common pitch thing that people do in writers' rooms too, where people don't like that. Where if you say like, this is a bad idea, but it's like, how can it not be? Sometimes it's kind of dumb, but you're like, maybe there's some germ in it that's good. It's hard to always be like, this
out
is
loud.
genius.
Right.
Yeah.
So why is it that you're not supposed to do that then? Is it just because everyone's like, you got to sell
like, if it's really bad, don't say it. And if there is some germ to it, just say it in the most confident, creative way you can. Because I don't know. I guess people
bullshit each other like that. That's what I would say to that.
I guess people just don't want to hear that kind of whining intro.
I guess maybe there's something needy about it.
Yeah, or just like it's just a waste of everyone's time basically because they're just let's hear the idea. And if you're in a writer's room for like 8-hour, 12-hour days, you kind of are like, all right, great. It's a bad idea. And then
were you the person that apologized for your ideas, or were you the person that was annoyed when other people did?
Well, no, I definitely am wired to have that kind of instinct to be like, this is garbage, but da-da-da-da-da. But I mean, even like after doing it for a while, I still sometimes want to say this is lunacy, but da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. I just think it's kind of human. I don't know. Maybe some people are better than others at avoiding it.
Yeah, some people don't admit to insecurity or weakness or vulnerability or being overly analytical.
Yeah,
that's all I am.
I mean, I see that benefit people all the time. I think it can very much benefit people to be confident.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. Here's an excellent story, you guys. So when I lived in Brooklyn, I would do a version of this show that was different but had the same name out of my apartment. And one of the segments was I had gone on this audition. And I ended up getting the thing, but the guy wanted me to like, okay, do it again, but a little more sexy. And so
take your pants off and do it again.
Exactly. Okay, get on your knees and a little more sexy.
A little sexier. Yeah. Okay, blow me a little sexier. Thank you. We'll call you.
Okay, I can't even hear the jokes you're making right now because we don't need them. And that was him talking to me, not me talking to you.
Right.
So anyway, I redid the whatever it was, a little more sexy, and then he said, "Okay, you pretty much just lowered your voice." And
I was like, "You didn't bring any vibe of sexiness."
No, I just went like, "Hi, I'm Alison," and so I was like, "I don't."
You pretty much just did a thick Russian accent. That's what you thought was sexy.
But I realized I don't know what they mean by sexy.
You just do a German accent because you're into German porn. Oh, sure, yeah. You want sexy? Can't do one, or I'd do it right now.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I realized
Have you any milk? That's the only.
It'd
German
be weird if that was exactly
do.
what turned him on. Then it'd be casting kismet. So I was like, what does it even mean, be more sexy? And I know that this sounds like a ridiculous question, but I really, all of a sudden, sort of common knowledge broke down for me. Like when you're like, what does 2 + 2 equal? I can't wrap my head around it. So I really was like, I don't get, what does that even mean to be more sexy? Which is kind of, in general, I don't really know how to affect that. I know this seems hard to believe. But so my friend came over and we were going to do a segment on, because she's like, quote unquote sexy, a segment on.
A nice compliment.
You're right.
Does she listen?
No, I don't think so. That indicates my feelings about the word sexy, not my feelings about my friend.
Right.
And she was going to, show tips, and because she worked at a women's magazine anyway, so it was like tips and tricks for being more sexy. And one of them was cocoa butter. She said that men fucking love it. Have you noticed that men always tell you smell good?
Yes. They say I smell good. They're like, your skin is so soft. I mean, you know, all around wonderful lovemaker.
My quote-unquote sexy friend also got on my case, and I don't think it was the same segment, for not having one of those puffs in the shower that you exfoliate
I have that.
with. Okay. Apparently, I'm the only one in the world who doesn't I don't exfoliate.
I exfoliate,
I don't use
then
cocoa
I cocoa butter. And
You
my
must be so
skin
supple.
It just is sumptuous.
Now, and on the road, you do this too?
No.
Okay.
All my whole hygiene goes down the toilet when I'm on the road. Like, I don't bring my electric toothbrush. That's why going on the road a lot, I feel like, oh my God, my hair is falling apart, my skin. It's like, gotta get back.
The voice you just used a second ago reminded me of one of my favorite things you do, which is the QVC sales pitch woman.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about that, though, is that when I watch that,
That was on Todd Glass's podcast, for those of you who aren't
Yes.
familiar. That's on YouTube, as well as the 50 Shades of Grey, if you're interested in checking those things out.
yes, go check them out. And what should they search on YouTube to find it?
Chelsea Peretti, QVC, and then what was the other one? Oh, Chelsea Peretti, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes. The thing is that when I watch QVC for long enough, even though it's total crap that they're hawking, I will eventually, like, I'm a pretty easy sell.
You buy stuff?
No. I've never, ever bought anything from TV, but I'll all of a sudden be like, you know, maybe I do want that thing.
No, sometimes you're like, God, you know, it makes you want to buy it, definitely, because it's like just someone is persuading you for an
Yes.
hour straight. You're like, oh, I guess, you know.
Right.
But
I
I'm
don't
sure
do any
most
of the things
it
they
is-
mention. I don't have a summer party. I don't do
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
you know, but I feel like maybe I could if I had that, whatever it is.
You should buy everything.
Have you ever bought anything from TV?
No.
Never,
No.
ever.
I don't think so. I mean, I buy things off Amazon, but I don't know. I'm usually obsessing on the personalities. Like, I'm barely, like, the product is so secondary for those shows for me. I'm just obsessed with these ladies and this weird skill set of being able to talk about one inane thing in a million different ways. It's just so fascinating to me. And I've always been like that. That I can watch, and also, like, those ministers, a lot of the, like, real eccentric minister type things on TV. Me and my dad used to watch those, and he also, like, he's kind of a funny guy, and he would be, like, obsessed with these different characters.
What does your dad do?
He's retired now, but he was a criminal defense attorney. That's why I'm so conservative politically.
My sister is a public defender, and she can't watch Law and Order because she feels like it's so skewed.
That's funny. My dad doesn't watch it because he's just like, it's boring. He's like, the criminal mind is boring. If you see it enough after so many years, it's not like intriguing or whatever. It's very predictable and boring. And I thought that was so interesting once, but not anymore. It doesn't feel interesting right now.
I'm riveted. I think it's interesting.
Okay. Your eyes seemed sort of like a little Krispy Kremed, glazed. How good does that sound right now, Krispy Kreme? Remember that heyday?
Yes. What happened
Whatever
to that?
happened?
Everyone was they acted like they had discovered them.
No, the donut was born again with Krispy Kreme, and then now it's just like they shut down all their factories. It's like, I don't know. It's weird.
Did like Big Hostess put them out of business or something?
I hope not. Hostess doesn't make a fresh donut, do they?
No, but I see, I don't eat donuts a lot. Like I don't think I would ever go buy a donut. But if there's one around, then I might tell
definitely
myself, okay, I might.
I'll
was
go to
Krispy Kreme
Dunkin'
your favorite?
Donuts
Oh.
and grab me a little chocolate glazed at times. Get a little coffee, a little chocolate glazed, maybe a donut hole or two. When I have no willpower, I'll do that. It's hard at
munchkin?
airports sometimes.
Yeah, well, because that's all they have.
Airports, there's just like, they're getting more health food now, but it's like, it's so like, you want to be like, there's no rules here. I don't know what it is.
Right, it's like you're at sea or something.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But if you travel too much, you just can't do that. You're just going to kill yourself.
Well, it's that thing with if you're up in the middle of the night, there's that idea, or like working weird hours, there's that idea that like, well, food you eat at this hour doesn't count. And yet...
It does.
It really does.
And yet
it does. Okay. Just me or everyone. Now, speaking of not making effort, Elaine Christian says, for some stupid reason, I stopped making the effort to fart silently when I have on my earbuds. This reminds me of a story that I I think I've shared before that my friend was studying at the library. That shows you how long ago it was. And he was listening to Sunny Day Real Estate, and he realized he had to go when over the music he heard his own fart.
That's kind of weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't really relate, but I will say I hate people with earbuds as pedestrians, because anytime someone is too close to my personal space, or like walking up right behind me in a way that as an animal you would not normally do, it's because they have earbuds in. And it makes like people violate the animalistic rules of personal space, and it's every single time it's earbuds. And I hate that. And I hate it. Hate it.
They become human moths.
Earbuds. Why?
Wait, but you're never the person who's invading someone's space?
I never do anything wrong. I'm always kind of, on the good side.
Right.
No, I'm sure I do, but I'm, one of those people that hates, like, I hate pedestrians when I'm driving, and I hate drivers when I'm a pedestrian, and I see no conflict. You know what I mean?
This can go back on our list. I hate almost everyone and everything all the time, too, except that I also hate people who hate everything and everyone, because it's like, why be like that?
Because you got to keep it positive at the end of the day.
Exactly.
I think that this person who said, have to sleep nap with a blanket regardless of weather, I hear that too. It's like you have to have a covering. It feels really weird to just sleep on a bed with no blanket.
Yeah. I actually like to make it cold in my place. Ideally, I would make it very cold where I'm sleeping and then turn on the electric blanket.
Oh, see, now this is a very guy thing, I feel like. That guys always want an ice cold room and then a duvet where it's like 500 degrees under there.
It just feels good on my
I break
balls.
out into crazy sweats when I'm in those situations. Like, I will just start sweating and I hate it. So like I'm not a big fan of AC. Cool. Another riveting opinion.
Well, all right. No, I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to do another one of these. Okay. Garjen Jennings says, is it just me? When I walk up to a door, I try to use telekinetic powers to open the door, even though I know it won't work.
No, that's just him.
I think that's just him.
That's like crazy talk.
Yeah.
Is that the guy who just called in?
No. But maybe. Okay, Gary Mercer, ensure that we're heading into the crazy territory. Ensure every last Cheerio has been emptied from the bag as I anthropomorphize them, thinking they'd feel behind. They'd feel left behind. Yeah, I don't do that, although one time I did feel sad about throwing out a perfectly good sock because its mate had a big hole in it. Felt like, isn't there a use for this one sock? But there's not.
I just threw out a bunch of new socks because I bought all these cute little socks, but they were like too tight around my ankles, and I just threw them all straight in the trash without ever wearing them.
I think that's good. Get rid of that sock clutter,
Yeah. Someone was telling me that you should throw out all your socks and underwear like every 4 years or something. Kind of a cool idea for rich people.
Yeah. That's like when they say you should get rid of your makeup like every 2 to 3 months or whatever.
No,
they don't say that, but no,
can do. What's this eyeliner that you use?
Oh, this is it's Trish. I like when people give a nickname to their make of makeup.
McAvoy or something?
Trish McAvoy cake liner or something. And I've had this eyeliner for way longer than you're supposed to keep makeup.
You do a good job. I mean, it's a sure hand. It's a steady, sure hand that is able to do a cat eye like that.
Thank you. What kind are you wearing?
Mine is L'Oreal. Yeah.
But is it a pencil? Is it liquid?
This one is a pen, like one of those felt tip kind of pen situations.
I've seen those, but I've never used one.
But I also use the regular like crayon one too. I don't know.
Is L'Oreal your go-to?
No, I just had a friend who always wore eyeliner, and that's what she used, so I just copied her. But no, I use all different kinds of. I don't have really tons of brand loyalty. I use Chanel and Dior stuff, but I also use a lot of L'Oreal is the cheap one that I like for the whatever.
Now, have you noticed, tell me if this is how it is with your guy friends. My guy friends all use upscale products. And it's not like they're all a bunch of metrosexuals, which is a term I don't use very often, and I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that I just used it.
You regret it right now.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it.
It is an annoying term because sometimes it is the succinct way to say what you want to say, but no one feels good saying it.
No, and it actually, what bothers me most, though, is when guys refer to themselves as metrosexual.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. That's something for other people to say about you in a not good way.
Right.
But anyway,
it's not something to embrace.
Most guys I know, if you go into their bathroom, it's like all, department store stuff. Is that not how it is with your friends?
I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe because they're all comedians. Like, they're not really, like, living the lavish life necessarily, all of them.
But most of my, most of my friends are Gary, what do you use?
The only thing that's remotely different or upscale is my gel. Everything else I can get at
What's
Ralph's.
an upscale
I
gel?
don't know. I guess. I guess the reason I feel so stupid right now. I guess the reason that I said it that way is because gel is the only thing that I have to go to like a beauty supply place to get.
This qualifies in spades and proves what I'm saying.
What is the gel?
Yeah, and where do you go?
I don't know. It's just this. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called.
It's like a top shelf gel. They're like, yes, sir, right away, sir. They reach up. James will be right with you.
He has a special gel valet.
It's like this fucking neon blue too, so I look like such an asshole like walking up to the counter with it because it's like the brightest color in the whole store. But yeah.
When did you first buy it and why?
My roommate used it in college, and
Rich guy?
Yeah, very. And
it's such a good. It is a selling point. Like if you see a rich person using a product, you're like, oh, they must have the best.
Right.
Like that's yeah.
I don't know. I just used his one day and liked it, and then just ever since.
Where
What
happened?
happened?
No, no, you go. You go first.
There's a lot of interest in my gel.
What happens if you don't wear gel?
Good question.
I look like I didn't shower. I think. I don't know. My hair is just. I don't know.
You ever do a severe side part like that Kardashian brother?
Not that bad, but there are definitely pictures of me from when I was younger. That was my style. That was my steez.
Yeah, you should mix it up sometimes. If you have the gel, might as well go
Yeah.
for it.
Now-
Do a middle part. Slicked forward and down.
Where do you buy this gel?
The last time I bought it was a beauty supply store next to the Ralph's on Ventura and Vineland.
Oh, you have to go to a special beauty supply.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to-
Planet Beauty, I think it was called.
I've
What
been
up?
to a Planet Beauty. You're gonna have to tell us the brand. I feel is it
It's called
Moroccan
short.
oil?
It's called Short Sexy Hair. See, and that's why I was avoiding it right there. That little laugh out of Chelsea was exactly why I was avoiding saying it out loud. Because she's right.
That's funny because I was going to say you do have short, sexy hair.
Thank you.
I believe occasionally you can get that kind of product at like a CVS or Rite Aid, but it's behind the like locked up things.
Uh-oh,
So it's
she's
like
saying
high-end
your
booze?
thing isn't very luxury.
Aw, I
No,
suck.
that's not. That's
I don't
not
know.
what I was trying to say. I was just showing
Just
that
trying
I'm
to
familiar
instigate.
with. Yeah, I felt left out. Trying to get in there. I'm sorry.
Listen,
you
if
go
my
back to
gel
having
is
it.
like a high-end bottle of booze, that's pretty classy.
Yeah.
But it's gel.
So?
I don't. Do you use gel, Chels?
Whoa,
I'm
whoa, whoa.
sorry.
That was a leap.
I'm saying it now. E. I just put
Take
big
it
pauses.
slow.
I put big pauses in the middle of words. See, I just said the rest of your name.
Gel. I don't use gel. I'm trying to remain respectful that you do use gel and not say anything
don't care. Go
disrespectful.
ahead.
No, I just
let him have it.
No, you know what? Who probably uses gel? Ryan Gosling. I'm trying to keep it paused. Can you tell?
Yeah.
I'm
He's a good-looking
overusing
dude.
that
Point.
term. K-I-P. Kip. Keep
Keep it paused.
I like talking gel with Chell.
Gel? Gel with Chell. Do you have a jingle for it?
Oh my God! Wouldn't
Trap
that be
dog.
great if we already did though? And you know what else is great? I need to
please.
give a little love to one of our great sponsors. Go to meeting with HD Faces by Citrix It's summer, it's hot, you're on vacation, you're working short days. You don't want to have to go in the office and have some kind of meeting with the people that you work with because, first of all, you work with them, so the less time spent face-to-face with them in person, the better. And second of all, you don't want to have to go to your office because, especially during the summer, then when you have to use the little key card to get in, this is based on my knowledge of how offices work, they have key cards. The air conditioner's not going to be on. It's going to smell.
What is this an ad for?
You're going to see a bug. It's an ad for not going into the office by using GoToMeeting with HD Faces on your computer, which is a way to have a meeting on your computer or your iPad or your iPhone, and you can see the people that you're meeting with face to face. You see their faces in really good quality because there's the HD, and you can hear them and you can talk to them from wherever you are, and you can even share documents on it. So if you have to have some kind of meeting, which you're going to, because even though it's summer, it's not like school, it's not like they say come back in 3 months, you still have to work, so you have to talk about work, but now you don't have to leave the comfort of your canopy or your hammock or your coffee house or your some kind of lanai or wherever you
Where
find
are we?
yourself.
Amsterdam?
Yeah,
Coffee house.
Yeah, exactly. Or your cafe.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I mean, aside from the HD video and stuff, there's also a chat feature, so you can like do instant messaging if you need to, and you can do it to a specific person.
Right.
Like
you can be having a meeting with people, and you can be talking about them at the same time.
Right. I mean, we were having a meeting earlier, and I had a question that I needed to ask Allison, but it would have looked unprofessional to ask in front of all the people that were on the meeting. So I just sent her a personal IM, and she shot it back to me, and then we were able.
And I wrote back and I said, Gary, I don't know how many Planet Beauty locations there are. Just Google it.
Blowing up my spot.
Yeah.
Come on. So yeah, it's really cool. It does not break down. It's built for business, and it runs and it hums. It's a very, very nice product. Allison's now smiling because I said
you
it
said
hums.
runs and hums.
Runs and hums.
That's good. Work smarter. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, it's awesome, and we've used it several times, and
Yes.
it always works flawlessly.
And Michael from Citrix is someone that we could not have more appreciation for. He's super awesome. And GoToMeeting by Citrix is super awesome. And you're super awesome if you want to sign up for the free trial for 30 days. Work smarter this summer with GoToMeeting with HD Faces. My listeners can try it free for 30 days. Don't wait for this special offer. Visit GoToMeeting.com and click on the Try It Free button and use the promo code Allison. That's me. That's why it's Allison. Be sure to use the promo code Allison. And as I said last time, they are tracking how many people are going to be using this code from listening to my show. So the more you sign up, the more that helps the show. Go ahead and do it. That would be awesome. And now it's time for the yes.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Chelsea.
Yes.
This is a segment where we tell people who need to be told a certain thing to do it again, Gary.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
I got a lot of satisfaction at the beginning of when I started doing this. It was very cathartic. However, now that I've avoided, there's a whole ongoing thing of me and reading message boards and how much I shouldn't do it because it makes me sad,
right?
And it doesn't do anything good for me other than give me material for this segment. But actually, the reading of the boards started much before this segment did, and I find I had my last hate binge, so to speak. I don't know how long ago, but I just I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I was like, it was so 12-steppy. I was like, I'm not going to read this for the rest of the day. Just going to do one day. And I did it, and then I haven't gone back. So I'm not filled with as much, hey, go fuck yourself for random people. But every now and then, some comments still do get through. And here's one. This guy has been up my ass all over the place, and I'm so fucking sick and tired of him. Here we go. These are a lot of comments about the last section of a few episodes ago. Bald Brian saying the sombrero segment is the part of the show he likes least warrants a 2-minute digression of fake laughs and mock affront. Pushing 40, trying to work out a satisfactory narrative about, quote, my boyfriend, histrionic reactions to every critical comment by a stranger, pretending to be candid with vague references to, I used to pick the wrong guy. Actually, he wrote, I used ago pick the wrong guy, but I think he means I used to pick the wrong guy. An increasingly tedious formula. Either explain what the real consequences of I used to drink too much were, or drop it. hey, you motherfucking moron, go fuck yourself. And here's where I now address everything in here. But, not for too long, just the right amount of time that would be appropriate, because I'm not dwelling. I'm KIP.
Kip.
Well, first of all, Bald Brian said that when he said the sombrero segment is his least favorite part of the show, he intended that as a joke and it came out wrong. And he realized as he was saying it that it wasn't that funny. But I think if you're going to come on a show and you're going to bash a segment even as a joke, it's kind of the duty of the host to talk about that. So I don't think there were fake laughs in Mock Front. And I'm also fucking tired of people ascribing motivation to things that I do. What makes you think it was Mock Front? Might have been genuine affront. No, it was mock. Also, I just turned 37, so that's not pushing 40. Although, even if I were pushing 40, why is that bad? And I have a feeling if I were 27, you'd say the same thing, but pushing 30. So, okay. And I don't know what you mean by satisfactory narrative about my boyfriend unless you're suggesting that he doesn't actually exist, which, I think he does. But that wasn't I didn't have a good comeback to that. I don't really have good comebacks to the rest of it because, let's see. Well, in terms of either explain what the real consequences if I used to drink too much were or drop it, I don't know what it is you're looking for me to say. I do go into the details of my past quite a bit. So, hey.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
Kind of lacked the punch of some of my earlier ones. But anyway, is there anyone that you need to tell anything to? You don't have to.
No, I do it, and I already do it in the moment.
That's good. You don't let it fester.
Yeah, I don't have anything festering right now.
Right. In general.
In fact, someone just said, I had a tweet that I don't like baseball, and I said, whenever you say you don't like baseball, people are like, oh, but you got to go to a game. I go, no, I'm not going to go to a game because I don't like baseball. I don't know what part we miscommunicated on. And then someone just wrote to me, why don't you like baseball? Why do you think it's boring? I guess you haven't read your own tweets lately. And while you were doing that, I just blocked that person. It's like, cool, here you go. I'll de-access you to my boring tweets. But it's like, why would someone be so riled up that a person they don't know doesn't like this sport? If you like it, great. Go watch baseball games. Yeah. I'm supposed to have, this is what drives me nuts with people on Twitter. It's like, or the internet in general. It's like, are we all supposed to have the same opinions? I'm supposed to like everything you like or you hate me? Like, I don't understand. Anyway, done.
Well, what gets me is just how fast it goes to something negative. And I think that's because you're in the Kip lifestyle. Right. But what I always think is that the mindset of a lot of these people is that, they're, I've been doing too many quotes. They're famous, so people must kiss their ass all the time. I'm going to distinguish myself by not. I mean, that's the kind of person that actually would back down if you were to go back after them. That's different than like a true hater. But the thing that I like the most is actually someone just being nice. If you're going to say something to me on the internet, if you're nice, that's not boring to me. I think that's nice.
Yeah, I know. People sometimes are like, you only respond to people who say rude things.
Yeah, I get that too.
And I'm like, no, I don't. I respond to people who say nice things too. You probably never have. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
I don't respond when people say crazy sexual shit to me. I don't respond when it's anything that seems like it could be a psychotic person or a stalker. But if someone says something nice about my comedy or a joke that's funny, I'll respond. Yeah. But a lot of times, I don't think people, anyway, whatever.
I also get a lot of, you never respond to my tweets. Do you get that one? And then I think, well, no, but I do sometimes. But then I don't want to respond right away because it's like, I'm not going to play your game.
I respond, I'm pretty responsive, I feel like. As long as people aren't, really crazy, I usually will write back because I'm in airports too much. I need entertainment.
Yeah. All right. Well, gosh, thank you so much, new best friend.
Oh, God, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about everything. And is there anything that we left out, anything you want to say about where we can find you, what people should be looking out for?
Well, I'm Chelsea Peretti. That's 1 R and 2 T's. Chelsea V. Peretti on Twitter. V as in Venus.
What's it really for?
Vanessa.
It's weird. I say M as in Mary, but my middle name is Michelle.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
Like, really not the most intelligent two people.
All right. Well, thank you again. This has been delightful. And I want to thank all the listeners. Thank you so much. You can follow me on Twitter at Alison Rosen. You can follow the show's Twitter feed at ARIYNBF. That's Alison Rosen's your new best friend. It's not Ariane boyfriend. I know you're going to say that because you think it's funny, and it was funny the first time, but it's not funny anymore. You can follow Gary on Twitter at GPatrickSmith, and there's Facebook pages for me and for the show. And, if you're going to buy something on Amazon, which you are, because they have everything, click through the banner on my website, and then that helps this show out. And it doesn't cost you anything extra. And you can come see me live. We're doing Alison Rosen's New Best Friend live August 9th at Nerd Melt. The guest is the aforementioned Pete Holmes.
Boo.
And musician Michael Rosas. It's 9 p.m. More info is on my website, AlisonRosen.com.
Love you, Pete. JK. JK to the boo. I don't know. It's hard to say.
You want to know what my favorite tweet of yours is?
Sure.
It's one of my favorites. It is, are you a silly Billy? Serious answers only, please.
Can I tell you my favorite?
Yeah.
I think it was you that tweeted this, but it was an exchange that involved you, and I loved it. It was when you tweeted the screenshot of Pete asking you if the Hitler joke was too unfunny to tweet or offensive to tweet, and you were like, he's like, is this too offensive to tweet? And you're like, offensively unfunny. So
offensively
perfect.
Unfunny. Yes, it is.
He was the guest on the very first episode of this podcast, and he talked about that. And
really?
Yeah, he talked about. I used to do a segment, I occasionally still do, called Deleted Tweets, which is where we do talk about tweets that we thought. Mine are always about farts, and I'm always like, I'm not going to send that.
Yeah.
But he mentioned that one, and then Gary's like, but wait, I've seen that. And that's because you had tweeted it. All right. Well, thank you again,
Thank
Chels.
you guys. That was fun. Thanks for having me. Chels. Al.
Gel with
Allie.
Chell. Gel with Chell. New podcast.
We work on the song. We'll make it.
That's right. All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen Show? We had a good time, but now we gotta go. Thank you for choosing the Alison Rosen Show. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. That's right. That's right. Those good times don't seem to end. That's right. That's right. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen Show? We had a good time, but now it's time to go. Hope to see you next time for the Alison Rosen Show. Yeah, Alison Rosen is your new best friend.
This is Corolla Digital.